All right, peace. Allah School has a really nice vibe today. Got the speaker outside. Playing a lot of hip hop, but more of what we need. Playing a lot of the whispers. I've been playing the whispers all this week. So it's a lot of whispers. All right, peace divine. All right. Now, which divine is this? I haven't heard it. I haven't heard it though. But don't think I didn't forget how savage you were. Um, Anybody can listen to this class though. But right now you have not earned your name, right? Not in this cipher. You know what I mean? And if I hear your song and if it's horribly whacked, then you just basically wasted time on my page there. Okay? Everything that you were doing regarding what we was talking about was savage. Okay? There'll be no argument here about that. The sooner that you acknowledge that, the sooner that you're able to build. That wasn't savagery worthy of a true and living God, let alone a regular man. Man. All right? And we have to do better. We want to carry a righteous name. What does divine mean? What does Allah mean? And then all of the other scribble you just put on your name. You defiling the name. Don't do that. You think that because I'll tell you in a message, though, that I won't tell you straight up? Oh, you haven't lived a beastly way of life. So what you was doing wasn't a beastly way of life. Come on now. Any man that shows and proves that he is the true and living God, though, can do so by the works that he puts out into the world. People keep claiming that they have a righteous name, that they have this, that they have that. Where are your works? Where are the people you've built with? Where is the community that you've added on to? I don't want to hear you telling me back, hey, I'm righteous. I'm righteous. You tell me that back. How? Certainly not by the interaction that we had, unless you were lying to me. And so what part could be righteous, though? You were either lying about, but everything you said, if that's what you were doing, it was savage. Like I said, people come in the name. Peace to halftime. People come in the name and they think that it's all peace. Peace to my brother King Kamal. They think that it's peace. You think that you know what it entails. Then when you do something and you're called out for savagery, you think that, no, that's just an aberration. That was just this. I don't have time to teach grown men that should know better already. Breaking righteous culture. Breaking not laws that are made by man, but natural righteous ways of being that shouldn't have been taught to you. That shouldn't have been taught to you by getting the knowledge itself. You should know this before you got knowledge. What I mean by that, though, is that you should have known this before you started coming in the name like that, which means you were poorly taught wherever you were. That's right, King. Come on, I'm going to read that. Divine means to be God, walking in who you are and not just claiming it. And brother, that was a big misstep. That was a big misstep. So don't just sweep it under the rug, be thinking I'm okay with shit. See, now you're just flipping stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I got time in the studio with my brother King Kamon. I got time making records to flip shit and flip degrees. Okay? Like I said, for the devilish acts that someone does, the not right and exact acts that someone does, how do they show and prove that they are right and exact after that? Because you told me? Because you're waiting for me to lose my anger intensity for the situation? And what if I never do? And give you a hint. I will not. We're going to conduct ourselves with integrity here. I'm not going to be talking to people on this thing and be building with people miles and miles away from this school through this shit. And then people act like they're learning from me and they're not learning a fucking thing. The only way someone that is far away that could show and prove that they are a student that they're building with me is by showing and proving that they have acts out there of worth that are worthwhile. And when they err, when they make mistakes that are as low and down dirty as the savagery you was talking about, and acting like it was whatever. Like it's whatever. That's what we do. Oh, well. Oh, now I'm going to have to, actually work hard at this. No, I'm not holding a grudge. You're lucky to even be in this cipher here. You think I'm holding a grudge against you. I'm using you as a tool to teach those that are on this. You think it's funny. You think I'm still teaching you. You still think that I'm teaching you here. Everything I'm saying is for everybody else here, so that they could use you as an example of what not to do. You make a mistake, you do devilishment. You don't come asking me if I'm okay with it after a certain amount of time, like it would boil over. So, it's distance and time make devilishment okay. No. It's the acts of righteousness. Working hard, showing and proving what you're doing. There's nobody teaching you here. You already got the lesson. You are actually walking into my classroom now. This is the digital class. You're walking into the classroom and you are not being taught. You are being used as a tool of instruction. You were an example on that blackboard. Listen, you're not the first person to try to defile my name, to try to act funny. I didn't even know you said that. There's a ton of devils here. There's a ton of devils in cyberspace. There's a ton of people trying to defile my name just because they don't like the way I look. You think you're in somebody's mind. You know what? Train very, very hard. Train very hard if you come here. In all ways. Train very hard. Taking your Hepketo, whatever it is, train very, very hard. Mentally and damn right physically. Train very hard. You're going to need it. Still around? These are all types of motherfuckers here.
Hepketo, you said?
There's some. He's
still around?
Oh, you know who I'm talking about. This guy's fucking talking all kinds of devilishment. And he's asking me, he thinks it's okay after a while. Because he asked me, is it okay, instead of talking to women, I just deal with prostitutes and stuff. I said, if you the true and living God, you ain't got to do that. And he's like, wait a minute, you mean I have to talk to a female? So, man, I said, man, whatever. He comes back and messages me, right? This is the kicker and shit. He messages me, he said, listen, you almost got me arrested. I walked up to a female and I said, I want to have sex with you. And then the cops came. That's my fault, God.
Yeah, he went off the deep end.
Yeah, that's my fault.
But he always was that though. He could tell crazy. I didn't know.
Yeah. So now everybody knows here. Now everybody knows. Devilishment will blow over after a while, right? That's how we doing it here, right? Just like, reparations, though. We're okay with waiting and shit. It's okay. See, Dark Kim just told me. Dark Kim just told me. Peace to my brother Bobito Ross, one of the great artists, my leftovers NYC brother. Great brother out there. Great brother out there. That's a brother that is doing things for our people. Indigo, I appreciate that, Queen. In people here see me here, but when those people are in front, most of the time throughout these years teaching here, these people would be in front of us, though. You know what I mean? So if there is any calmness that that is used, the calmness is so that way, just in case I need my energies to focus them to make sure that person isn't in the classroom anymore. You know what I mean? If words don't work, so calmness is always important, though. But people, doing devilishment, and so to do devilishment, to act like devilishment or weakness in this case, right? Because your man will choose whatever you want. But if you want to act like that weak way is the true and living way, now you're mixing and diluting. Then when they can't even talk to a female right, they're gonna blame me. Yeah. See, that line king always comes back, right? Sunez is more civil, so you got my attention. Oh man. Like I said, it's a technique that has kept me sane. If there are people that are actually in the room here that are doing stupid shit, I try to use them as a tool for the other students. And in doing that, though, it focuses me on having a clarity that's needed to explain it to the other students, But online, though, I mean, come on. It's ridiculous, And then, what's funny, when people, they fail, like all these people, these trolls and everything, they all have like a running thing. There's like a Sunez hate club somewhere, right? Yeah, I'm a rapper now. I don't have to be calm by anything. Yeah. Yeah. Right? I don't know. I'm not doing the role very well. That's what it is. And, that's the thing. Like he talks like he's going to come back. Listen, you're only gone when you're physically dead. Any error that you make, though, you may not be accepted by every group. There are things that we can do, that people can do, that you'll never accept them again. Absolutely. It could be a very serious murder, rape, things like that is never again accepted. But that doesn't mean that person can't spend a life doing good in different ciphers. And sometimes that's the point. In this case, what I said was, as the true and living God, taking a righteous name and then acting like he just used women as masturbatory tools that he pays for, and then getting mad when I tell him to actually go look for a woman, have a conversation. He has a conversation where he just asks them for sex. That's not being righteous at all. You know what I'm saying? Women are not This is not Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory, and women around here are not the candies to just pluck out of the trees. I'm watching that with my kids, so it's in my head, right? Jeffrey Epstein, unbelievable. Yeah, far from righteous, you know. And like I said, some people have to do righteousness. If they're gonna do righteousness after they've done devilishment, you're gonna have to make the decision to say you're gonna have to do that righteousness in the other circle. You know, you do it in the other, you do it away from me. Where if you're here, I'll be over there. You know what I mean? In this case, though, it's where I'm at that they're not gonna be. You know what I mean? But in this case, though, how do you absolve? How do you say, I did the wrong thing? No. Are we good? No, you're not. We're not good. We're not good. You know, I'm a teacher that writes. And expects writing. You're gonna have to at least write me an essay why you're not writing exact. You're gonna have to at least show and prove that you could speak to females and have civilized conversation. I gotta take these people. They have a righteous name. No, they've done nothing righteous. I'd rather people just walk around with a regular name, John, Billy, Joseph, and then show and prove. But a lot of people think that it's going to get an automatic certificate from me. I go back home Thursday night. From Thursday till the next Thursday, I don't even give myself any awards. You know what I mean? All right. I'll take a moment though so I could write something down here. See if anybody has any any questions about anything. You know, in the online stuff, why would I get mad? You know, somebody insults me and leaves the room and stuff. It's like, I guarantee you, all these people that say this stuff bad about me on the internet, they get invited to the school all the time. And the last couple of videos that have been on La School of Mecca, the last batch for myself, there's been certain people, certain person that's been trolling, and I tell them to come here, you know, under any situation. How do you want to do it? You know? But they don't come, and they don't have any suggestions how to fix things. They have their own perceptions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree with you, King. Yeah, he need a jail sentence in a cell, because if he's doing that and thinking that it was okay to talk about that and said it like it was nonchalant, that's you know, that's a predator right there. You know? That's a predator right there. Jarrell, peace to Jarrell. Anybody have anything that they would like to ask? Today's mathematics borns God. So we know we're not playing. We know we're not playing today. You know? Okay. This is the last full week of January. You know, so for many of you, you either shot out the gates, right? Achieved many things, or it was an experimental month. You have to look at it that way. Don't quit on the goals, whether it's work, it's exercise, training, getting in shape, whether it's the diet, whether it's sleep. Okay, sleep. You have to figure out how much sleep you need regularly. And if you have, let's say, reading, see, and then now to see how they overlap. Let's talk about this for a little bit. Training, diet, sleep. Training, diet, sleep. Training, diet, sleep. They overlap with reading, writing, okay? And whatever creative endeavors that you have, okay? People will train, but by the end of the month, they weren't really, maybe they're excited. You know, so you train, you finally get to it, you start getting excited though. And so you're not going to sleep on time. Maybe you're having those meals late. Again, I'm showing you the overlap. You train well, and you eat conservatively, so it's slightly you're basically training more than you're actually eating. So now there's a deficit, so you're losing weight, right? And being able to do it with intensity, not losing your energy, so it's great. But then you're not sleeping. And then now by the end of the month, if you were doing it this whole month, you start to get sore. You start to think like, yeah, I don't know. I did it, but I don't know if I can keep this long term. So what's the point? And now you're feeling like you're burnt out. This has to do with consistent sleep. Sleep lousy during the week, 4 or 5, 6 hours, in that kind of fluctuating way. And then on the weekend, you oversleep and sleep till noon on a Saturday or a Sunday. This isn't consistent. This is the consistency that you want. Okay. You have to be more aware for the sleep. You know, I've read a lot of books on sleep. You know, for the sleep is to be more aware of your body, start to see when you're not effective. One of the best measures, though, the easiest measure, some people don't notice this, though, but you start to get a headache when you're ready to go to sleep. Your just head feels different. Your body starts to get ready. Or you can say, this is the time I'm going to need to sleep, and just put all things down, right? But what happens is that we start to binge, maybe watching Netflix or something like that. My brother gets me to watch stuff. He got me watching The Bear, okay? And it's good. And I make sure I turn off. And like I told you, I have a great, I think it's great. I've learned to have that control to turn off programs or movies at the end of a scene. You know, like at the end of a scene, I'll just take it off. Or when I notice myself drifting, you know, once I start to daydream, I have to take it off and say, let me do something else. Now, when I'm reading and I start to daydream, I don't stop reading. What I do is I start changing the music, or I change the book I'm reading. Okay. If the book I'm reading needs to be finished and I really want to finish it, then I definitely focus on changing the music, make it more upbeat, even if what I'm listening to sounds really, really great. You know what I mean? Like the guys were playing like a lot of whispers. I've been listening to a lot of whispers myself. I got a great whispers playlist with everything, but all the whispers albums. But the whispers, my I know everybody knows here, my ballads playlist. You know, and the whispers, they're loaded with ballads, right? I got about 32 I love. But let's say I'm playing that and I'm reading, but I'm getting sleepy and it sounds beautiful, right? And I'm on my favorite whisper song. I think my favorite whisper song is probably Love Is Where You Find It. And then I got to take it off. I got to find something else. I got to refocus, recalibrate. Personally, I only stop reading as an okay thing is if I have the ideas to create something to write. But what I'm saying is that diet, sleep, and your training, these are all going to overlap. So if you're failing with your training, look at your diet, look at your diet, look at your sleep. Okay, all of these things, they overlap. They have certain ways of engaging. You know, so it's important to look at how they work and then work in them. G1 P, Scott, that's a good question. Ram LZ, I don't know much about Ram LZ. And I'll tell you something, in the art world, whether it's Basquiat or things like that, I don't really study art that much. It's It's something I don't know too much about. I never had the greatest interest in it to study it. So it's probably one thing I don't know too much about in general, art history and things like that. You know what I mean? But that's it. King, you said wisdom is the application of the foundation's blueprint. The power or strength is in the actions of influencing those who want to know why the original man is God. That's a great pedagogical angle on building in today's degree. That's peace, God. Wisdom, infinite earth, peace. All right. Which one did I check out? I checked the one about the judge and the son. I saw the first episode. That was very good. So it's definitely one that I want to keep rotating. Black Castle. I think it was called Black Castle on Hulu. That one was very good. And I saw the first. I saw the first episode about almost everything you said. So and then the first episode on Apple TV that Samuel Jackson is in. I saw the first episode of The Last Days of Ptolemy Gray, and that was very good. That one I have to wait though. You know what I'm saying? But that was good. I liked it. So that's gonna get watched. You know? Damn, there was another one that you said. But those three you told me, I checked out and they was dope. You know? Kindred, that was the one I didn't check out. Yes. I knew I forgot one. That's on Hulu too. That's probably why I thought I did Hulu. But yeah, Kindred, I'm gonna do the analysis to that episode. You know what I'm saying? You know, people, they usually binge one show at a time. That's probably why I don't binge though. I kind of use all the apps like TV. So old school TV where like the program is over and now you're gonna watch a new episode. I even be not watching shit even when it's a cliffhanger. I very rarely. I think I did watch completely Bass Reeves. That one that was very good. Mayor of Kingstown. Yeah. In Your Honor. Yeah. Mayor of Kingstown. So Mayor of Kingstown and Kindred, I have to check out an episode to see if I want to see the whole thing. But all the other ones you said, the Your Honor, the Black Cake, and what was the other one? Ptolemy Gray. I'm gonna watch all of those. You know what I mean? The Kitchen. I never even heard of that. You know, it took me a while to fix my net, or at least adjust my Netflix algorithms. You know, because every time I go on Netflix, I just get stuff for cartoons. You know what I mean? Because that's all I do, and is watch cartoons with the kids. You know, but The Kitchen. That looks interesting, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna put that on the list. That looks interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. You see, we could get lost in all the things that you watch. Yeah, I don't watch that much sci-fi stuff. Not because I'm not looking for it either. Lord Takim. So the God is from Oakland, and so are the Whispers. You know, I love the Whispers. You know, and you know it's funny because they, you know, if me and my brother could sing soul, I'd force them to be a group like the Whispers. You know what I mean? Right? We'd be twins singing. You know what I'm saying? We would just do everything the Whispers did. You know what I mean? But I saw that Griselda series too. Yeah. No, I saw it there. I didn't see it yet though. I know I said that wrong, but I have it on the list. See, there's too many things to watch, so I make sure that like you know, I make sure that like I also time stuff too, and the timing goes way off. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, I said I was gonna take an hour, and just an hour to do emails and answer everybody back. And I did all the emails, and it took longer than an hour. But then because I didn't do the emails, I forgot to do the jail letters that I got. So we time everything as best as we can, though. There are some things that are easier to time, and that are more important to definitely time. The most important things to time, you have to time your workout. Overtraining, though, the longer you work out, the weaker the workout gets. So you want to concentrate the most difficult, hardest workout into a short amount of time. So for me, that's 80 minutes. 80 minutes, and there's no breaks. There's no breaks at all. It is an extremely difficult training, and if I do it longer, it gets longer, and then my mind drifts, and then I already knew it's shot to hell when I start thinking of ideas to write, and I said, let me throw this down here. You know what I mean? And sets, weightlifting sets with no real break. It's supposed to be like a 5-second break or something, or a 10-second break. Ends up being a couple of minutes. So, yeah. Julia TV. Yes, I heard about that. Yeah. I know it's Sofia Vergara. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, if you're gonna binge, though, I want you to earn your binging. Earn everything. Earn your binging. You know what I'm saying? And all of that. So like the amount of pages I read, or I expect to read a week, the amount of journal pages I write, those are all time. Like I know how long they should take. So if they take longer, that means I'm not focused. So instead of just accepting that, I focus better. That's interesting, G1. Wow, yeah. Who would have thought? Like, what a shame that, you know, we wouldn't want a drug dealer's life, though, to be played incorrectly. Dios the prescription. Now, when you say you binge, how much binging are you doing on reading? How much binging are you doing on training? How much binging are you doing on studying this knowledge? If you are studying this knowledge, I don't know who you are, right? So say it would be quick to binge, though. How many hours? 1, 2, 3, 4. It takes me less. It takes me about 8 to 9 hours to read 300 pages. So if you think you don't have time to do stuff, think again. You add up the small amounts of time that you have instead of I never, and I'm just saying this myself, I never watch TV unless I'm doing something. So I'm always I'll eat, and I eat as slow as possible. It's always good to eat slow, but once I finish that, that's it. Peace, God.
Just got a phone call. Somebody named Divine and want to speak to you. I said you was in the middle of the class. He told me to tell you that it's Divine. Tell him it's Divine and he's not holy. I don't know what
that's the punk that just bombed here. Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. They're funny. He's funny style.
Okay,
yeah.
I figured it was something like that.
Yeah. Now, 3 episodes in a row, right? Let's say now, I only watch TV and film. I only watch TV and film when I'm eating, and I'll eat as slow as possible. I take as much time as I can. I eat carefully. I try to be as mindful as possible. You know what I mean? But if you binge 3 episodes in there in a half hour, that's an hour and a half. That's 90 minutes, though. Okay? So understand, though, unless this has something to do with your creative elevation, right? And this could be anything. You could be a writer, an artist, whatever it is. The TV and film is something that helps the creative mind. So it's not something, but it has to be controlled. Okay? So like, I don't know who you are. And when you say stuff, that's not showing and proving anything. You know what I mean? Like, that's peace. You saying the God Justice Son Allah used to go to with you, Lord, late 90s. I remember a justice, though. But I know a lot of justices, though. All right? But yeah, what I'm saying is this, though. Like, the point being, though, right, is that how much time you want to take? Like, if you take time, let's say you say this is how long the film is. The film is 2 hours. So I think 2 hours of watching things daily is okay. Right? 2 times 7. Let's just say it's just 2 hours. 2 times 7 is 14. That's 14 hours. Now, if I told you that if I could read 300 pages in 8 to 9 hours, right? Let's even give me 10, right? How much could you anyone could definitely do that with these 14 hours. See? So in my mind, though, something is being wasted. Something is being wasted. And I don't care if we're talking about, well, I do this and I do that and I do this. We always say that we earn things. We always say that. We earn this. I earned the right to drink this. I earned the right to party Friday. I earned this. What did we earn? We are not in the world of our own owning yet. The maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, father of civilization, God of the universe, though. We have made everything. We do not own anything. And we use the cream, the genius of our minds, for all that we fathered to be what? So what I'm saying is, like, it doesn't make sense to tell me, yeah, I binge. Binge what? 3 hours. You say 3 shows. I'm saying like a sitcom. I'm just going sitcom, hour and a half. You just said that. So how much does this go? Because if you're watching TV and you have the energy to write something, if you have the energy to read, and that's what you pick, I really don't think that anybody should be complaining about the way the world gets. Not to me. Right? So this is not an attack on you, Justice. It's not saying I'm giving cold hard facts today. Today's wisdom power. So everything is going to be as powerful as possible. You know what I mean? And see, King Kamal, he says, I practice recording songs daily without writing, perfecting the art of doing minimum writing and less studying. And where's the proof of that? Constant works of excellence, though. And I know this, though, because I work with him. I know the immaculate things that he's doing with that. Now, Justice, I don't see a picture of you or anything, so I don't know what Justice you are that was with me in the class. And what class, when you was coming to the class, like I said, I taught hundreds of people through this classroom, So that's peace, I don't know. Do we reach our goals? What are the goals, though? What are the goals? Like, do we have goals? People want to tell me, think about it, though. Just think about it. You tell me how much you binge. How many hours are we reading, though? How many hours do we spend training? Being wise with our power. Isn't that the theme? Isn't that the theme, God? Being wise with our power energy over time. That's the theme, isn't it? I'm really not speaking about anything else. You all don't feel it? It's 2023. You know, I don't know where people get the idea too that when I teach this course here, or when you come to my class though, that it's going to be a battery in the back session. I'm not here to recharge your batteries. I'm not here to make you feel good and then you feel like you did your best though, and on goes another week. And somebody tells me that that it's okay to binge, and if you're doing that regularly, then it's okay to eat as much ice cream as you want, at least for an hour a day, right? It's not really about you, Justice, because the truth is that nobody here. There's only a few people I know really well to know what they're doing. I'm saying this for the broader world that wants to, that on this Peace course, when it's put out here, is getting a taste that this is all Peace course primer. People really have no idea how much work that I expect out of you if you build with me. You better know your lessons. You better be on them. You better be manifesting them. And we teach the young now. You think I'm teaching the young that it's okay to spend 3 hours pulling all-nighters, playing video games and shit? You're wasting my time. I'm not even talking about you. You know? All right? There's two ways you can teach the young. This is how people think. You could tell them what to do and show them what it looks like with examples around them. Or you could live out, though, exactly how they should be. With everything, there are so many things to teach a youth that very rarely one person, though, can be an example of everything the youth need to see. There may be things that we falter in that aren't going to be it, right?
Peace to God.
Peace, God. Yeah. Oh, that's Peace, God. Unfortunately, I can't click on it through here. So let me. I can't really click on it to see that picture bigger, so I couldn't even make it out. It's tiny as hell. But no, I'm on the social media, guys. So like Sunez on the IG, everything. Look for me there, guys. That way we could link up and shit. All right. Lord Takim, you said today supreme mathematics is all born to God, right? Let's listen to God music today. How about everybody listen to King Kamo and Lord Takim also? Right, after class, right? After class. Right? If you're going to go somewhere, do that. Right? No, they're not out though because they want some kind of validation. And I'm not giving it to them. They play with the degrees. They say they don't lie, cheat, or steal, so they're righteous though. As if that was the small list of things to make sure you don't do. But you went up to women and you spoke devilishment. I'm not with that shit. I don't deal with fucking losers like that. Get your shit together though. There's righteous men out there that deal with a mystery God that would never do what you just did. And you're walking around with the name though. You need to put that name down though. Go back to Billy Joseph and start studying things. Around here calling themselves divine. Divine what? But you want to alter the name though. Like you don't even know. Like, where do people get off though that they think that they could act like they're talking here and then act smooth, then insult me, then act smooth, then do devilishment, then talk to me if it's okay, then insult me, then do that? You wouldn't do none of that shit if you were standing right here. I guarantee it. So let's get over ourselves and let's study. You're here to learn shit though. And then when I tell everybody that you really got to actually do shit, you're okay with me being an anomaly. You want me to be an anomaly. Someone that you click onto and say, listen, our people had people that did stuff. And everybody else though just says, well, he did stuff. And I'm telling you that whatever I do has to be normalized. If it is good, if it is righteous. Read a little bit. The works are weak. We go out there, nobody knows who we are. Take it personally. Who are you outside? What are you building? What are you leaving? What are you studying? This is a school. What are we building here? That's peace, Lord Takim. I'm just messing with you. It's all peace, you know. I care about how we deal with the youth. Like I said, the youth needs so much to be seen that is great. They cannot have an example of what to do in all situations just from one person's reality. But there has to be things that we do that are so overbearingly incredible, of such a great quality, that it becomes at least one or two or three things that they see. All the youth know out there is what they see. And we keep thinking that they're stupid, but all they see is people either do it as illegal and as devilish as possible, or they do it the legal route, which is with little to no scruples and abandonment of principle whenever necessary, and do the lying, cheating, and stealing as cleverly as possible. Right? You're going to learn with me, though. You're going to learn to make mistakes. That's not why I got on this fool over here. I got on this fool, though, because he did some devilishment, and I told him that's not right and exact for us. Then he goes out, though, and does in the most facetious, most bullshit way, and then says, it's my fault because I told him to talk to women and not just deal with prostitutes. Talk to him nicely. Oh, I just asked a woman to go sleep with me, and then the cops came at me. We're trying to be the true and living God. You don't even know how to be a civilized man. And I'm getting shit. Need to work on some stuff. And this is what I'm saying, though. This is what I'm saying. We are responsible and we teach. However, when you see all this weakness out here, weakness like I just mentioned, when you see all this devilishment out here, that doesn't stop. You guys feel comfortable binging? How comfortable do you feel? How comfortable do you feel binging? And again, justice is not toward you. There's nobody here that I'm criticizing if I don't know you completely and what you've been doing and what you've been showing and proving. I'm talking to people that aren't writing here. I'm talking to people that'll watch this later. I'm talking to people that are already doing stuff and to see why, even if you were doing great things, to do even more. I'm supposed to be getting on King, though, because he doesn't want to write. He actually doesn't write. Complete blasphemy. And then I hear him say stuff. I hear him build. He's writing down his builds, though. But I hear him write stuff. I hear him MC. I hear him make songs. We make songs together. And I hear poetry that is impeccable. That's a student studying, exploring the depth of his mind, how to share it. I very rarely lose confidence in the youth. I think that we can't, right, Justice? Can't. Peace to the God, infinite mind. That sounds very heavy. Dialectical behavior therapy. That's the title of the book? Sounds intense. Yeah, because we had a fool here, Infinite Mind. I told the story earlier in the class, you know, and then they come on here when they fail, and I tell them, like, you're a savage. And then you tell, well, what did I do savage, though? You know, while swine, while pork is oozing out of their pores. Oh, what did I do savage? I didn't lie. I didn't cheat. I didn't steal anything. The pork fat is melting from your scalp. Right? It's melting. This classroom is for brothers that have the knowledge to develop tools with me. That's why I talk about pedagogy a lot. Right? But at the same time, no, it's like I spend a lot of time talking about what we can build, what we can create. No, mental pork. I'll give you the quick flash, Infinite Mind. Guy's talking about, you know, asked me a question. He says, listen, I only deal with prostitutes, you know, is that an okay thing? And I said, listen, brother, that's not right and exact. You need to talk to these women. You know what I'm saying? He says, I don't know about that. I said, listen, this is not righteous. You know what I'm saying? Comes back and tells me it's my fault because he goes up to a woman to talk to her and just asks her for sex and the cops come after him. This is what he says. Stupid ass. And it's my fault. I gotta exile you. You're a savage, you know? Then they want to come on here or get on my social media and act like it's been a while since he blocked me. Is it everything all peace now? You know, like we just forget devilishment. No, you got to do stuff. You know, and this is going in line with everything I was talking about, wisdom, power. We just started the month. We should be worrying about what things are we doing? What things are we doing? And that's why I said, focus on this, the major thing. Your training, your exercise, for some that don't want to see it like training, exercise, your diet, and your sleep. All three of these need to be at a respectable level. And one of them can ruin the other. But they also can ruin the other things, the way you read. It is easier to watch television than it is to read books. It is easier to read simple books than it is to read the harder books that need to get read. So now you have to see, what is your energy levels? What are you doing? You know, like the majority of the time when all I can do and all I have strength for is to watch television, I go to sleep. So it's like we have to develop a discipline. And this January, if you're not running out of the gate building, you need to be checking these three things and juxtaposing them with your plans and seeing how they work. What are we building? You're dealing with this knowledge and you have it. Let's say you knowledge 120. How are you going to build? What are you going to bring to the world? Okay? So people don't think about this. They think greatly about their families. A lot of gods, they're really building with their children and all that. But what do we bring to the community? Also, in your phones, though, I always talk about blue light. I put filters on my phone, though. Everybody looks brown on my phones. I always keep to the lowest light possible. And I always have the blue light filter on at full blast on all my devices, including this laptop. And I'm always wearing blue light filter glasses when I'm using my laptop, which I'm wearing now. Just as an add-on, because just you made a great point there, right? Infinite Mind, you said wisdom power is the way we use that power. Damn right. People using that power all fucked up. Yeah. Like, it's just a mishap. But you haven't even proven you're not doing that again. How can I deal with you? You haven't even proved you haven't doing that again. You know? You don't even accept people on other grounds like that, right? That's like I play ball with a guy who shoots 5 air balls, and then I say, you know what? I'll let you take the last shot. Right? Responsibility, accountability is power, right? I see it. And see, I really try to get everybody focused on planning, because the more you work on planning, that actually is something that is necessary. And the more that you work on planning things, just regular tasks like that, tasks that just better you, not just tasks that need to be done to show your works out there, but the tasks that lead up to your work. How much you read, how much you write, how much you work out, whether you're sleeping, whether you're not, right? How much hours. These are the things that really propel the planning, but the planning is the daily work that develops you to get to the level to write your own history in advance, to say, you know what, when planning is so strong and so formidable, that now I can say that this is going to happen in this way, and I am potent enough and powerful enough to make it happen. Right? And yes, you definitely need to refine. But I just recapped Infinite Mind on the savagery, and we keep it moving. But this is what we encounter. This is the years, and Infinite Mind knows that in this classroom, I've encountered people like that in front of me here. You see? But some of these people, though, are not grown-ass men. Some of them are young. And those are the ones we need to spend time with. Teach them properly. Right? Teaching the fruits of it. You know? Oh yeah, you took me back. Yeah, I'm not gonna say who that was though. infinite mind, but I just said peace to God earlier. So yeah, he's fine. Apparently, I'm surely fine. But yeah, you see, definitely fair share of craziness, guy. You know, but yeah, that shit is crazy. That was very funny. That was very funny, yeah. When that happened, that was crazy. You know, but what was funny is that by then I was so used to it. I had a straight face when that happened. And I think I felt the whole class would have gone into chaos though if I'd have started laughing at that. And plus, it's not funny to do that. Like it's funny to laugh at it, but it's not funny when it happens because she was trying to offend someone and make them feel bad. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the youth when they're young, they've only learned how to be cruel to each other, you know, or express their anger in the most cruel way, you know. But that's what it is. But yeah, I am going to be here until 8 o'clock, so I have another hour here. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how would they get somebody else to help with that? I don't know. You know, I think this, right? I think that this generation of gods and earths has worked very hard with success and with failure as well, including myself too, to have families like sun, moon, and star, um, God, earth, children, the stars, right? For many of us, it has succeeded and failed in many levels, right? But what also has wavered is being in touch in the street, being able to be in touch in the street, you know. I agree with that. I agree with that, God. I agree with that because the more that you civilize the uncivilized, right? And we talk about the uncivilized, we talk about the youth. You take your shot though, and you warn those grown. That's why it's hard because you can't be on that level of low level savagery and be walking around with a righteous name. Can you imagine the amount of stupid shit that was done in the name that whole time? You know? The ones that are truly the true and living God, once they are civilized, once they know about the existence here, they're going to seek it. You know what I mean? And a lot of them, if they feel turned away by someone's attitude and things like that, then they're already showing you something. Some will be strong enough to get this knowledge and go through the social atmosphere that they may not care for, which is very real, right? But there's one thing that many people cannot get over, okay? They feel that humanity is inherently flawed and they have a disgust of humanity. And because they have a disgust of humanity, they look at the flaws of humanity as proofs that the original man is not God, even if that includes themselves not being that, you know? And this is what happens often, you know? This is what happens often. Just trying to plug in something. Yeah, I agree with that. Infinite, you said I can't tell you how uncomfortable I made people because I'm not trying to convert them. This isn't a religion to convert. Yeah. I this is we were never taught to convert, but the way that it was being lived out in the 60s and 70s in many respects in the 80s was you give it to everybody, you know? And so people really scoured for those students. And um, uh, to me, an incredible amount actually became true and living, you know? But these were their works. Understand that their works as a creator was creating a new society, a new atmosphere, new ciphers. What are we doing? So what are we doing? Justice, you said the power of your magnetic will show when it comes to dealing with the youth. If you're not who you say who you are, then they won't take you serious. All right. Okay, we have, all right. Peace, Divine Allah. Okay, a brother also named Divine. Divine Allah, do me a favor. So right in here, for everyone in the classroom, just to complete this whole point, the power of your name, show and prove why you chose the name Divine Allah as your name. Okay, just so we have a summation here, a conclusive statement. Show how important the name is. That particular name too, which many great 5%ers, and see, that's the thing. You want to come in the name, though, and you come in the name of Divine, and I know many brothers named Divine. Great men. And you have the nerve to name yourself that. So Divine, please tell us why you chose that righteous name now. Okay? Because I needed to be shown. And when we see why we have these names that are powerful. We want to say that we're the true and living God. And we have a responsibility that is different than the average mortal. A responsibility to not indulge in things as much, just a little bit less. You see? To work yourself harder, to say, let's say, just use the example, let's say people watch like 2-3 hours of TV. Let's cut that off entirely for a couple of days. Only certain days a week it'll be like that. Divine, you said divine is something sacred to me. Okay, sacred, you spelled sacred. Should be with a D and not a T-E, right? Okay. All right, let me know more. I'm sure that's not a sufficient answer when the 85 ask it. Right? The 85 tells you why you name yourself that. What would you say? Right? You can't just tell them it's special to you. Because remember, the divine is the mystery God also. So that's sacred to the 85 too. Right? All right, all right. I am still in Staten, and I'm still waiting for Divine to give me more. Come on, give me more. Right? If I said my name's Sunez Allah, I said, why you name yourself Sunez Allah? And I say it's sacred to me. But they still would say, what the hell does that mean? What the hell is a Sunez? Right? No, 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 no. Well, Justice, there's full of typos there. Are you talking about sacred up there? What he spelled is not a word. It's sacred with a D, not a T-E. But sacred just means cherished. It doesn't mean secret. Sacred does not mean secret. Yeah, sacred does not mean secret. I gotta take a boat, and train. So that takes me about 2 hours if everything is on time. Yeah. And everything is not on time. So when I go back is when I have the problems. So coming here is everything is pretty much on time, you know. But like when I go back now, like it could be an extra half hour to that 2 hours because maybe I missed the boat. I have to wait an extra half hour. And then the real problem is the buses in Staten Island are very badly timed. So I might have to wait an extra half hour even if the bus doesn't show up. Right? So that's how it goes. So again, I could look at it negatively, or I could say that I have a lot of time to listen to music when I can't read anymore. And I don't read well standing in the cold, but I listen to music very well. But I read a lot. The ferry, trains, everything. No, I'm not on Killer Hills. I'm 10305, not 10304. So I'm Pillow Hills. I'm where the old people are. Nice aged community. So I'm in Pillow Hills. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's nice and comfortable, you know. But it's funny because I take the bus takes me past Stapleton, so I ride past Stapleton, so I get to say Killer Hills, and then I'm and then I'm in the nice community. Yeah. So, but the bus I take goes through all the hoods, so it goes through everything, like you know. So from Killer Hills to Pillow Hills, you know. That's why it's easy. I tell you to get your rest. Get your rest. You know what? One of the things I've been really sharp with is that when I'm training heavy, I make sure I sleep well with a little bit over 7. So it's weird, a little bit over 7, like 7 to 7.5. So 7, in between 7 and 7.5. You know what I mean? So I make sure I get that amount of sleep. It's important. Important to consistently do that. You know. And sometimes if you can't do stuff, instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to resign myself to, just enjoy this television because I can't really work or do anything constructive. Sometimes when you get home, take a short nap, 10 minutes, and then you can do stuff, And if people say, I have kids, I can't do this, I can't do that. Listen, me too. Oh, what would he disagree with, guys? What would he disagree with? Oh man, Oh, with the TV film, man. You don't even know, man. Like, I mean, he studies this shit. I mean, that's different. If anybody's an actor here and shit, like, he be watching a ridiculous amount of TV and film, man. Yo, God, I don't even know if I told you. Like, I have access to his iTunes collection. Like, he puts all of his films he buys into there. So almost all of them get in there. And I can access them, even though he lives in LA. And it's about 2,000 films. You know what I'm saying? So, like, people know. all these apps and stuff. Like I practice not watching TV. Like I practice that shit. You know, like I'm really practicing. You know, because I could watch stuff all day, everything. You know, and I just watch. You know, and then between the things he tells me to watch, shows me to watch, and then you know my daughter, especially my oldest daughter, tells me stuff to watch, and they're really good too, and they have totally different tastes. So you know, I'd be watching. There's tons of shit, but they all love me, even though I'm mad behind with everything that they want me to watch. And then King gave me suggestions, and obviously I'm behind in those too, you know. But I be checking them out. I be doing analysis. Me too, God. Me too. You know, I'm seeing it more like a healthy study of them. You know what I'm saying? Because I find TV and film great. I find it great. I think it's great to study. I think it's great to watch. It sucks. I still don't like the stories of our people. You know what I'm saying? I think it's still on a lower bar. It doesn't, I was telling my brother, it doesn't have the freedom that I see white shows have, like to just explore things. But at the same time, though, it's still really worth it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the Spike, yeah, he got all of that shit. He got all of that. You know, the Mo Better Blues, the Do the Right Things, all those Max, all of that. Yeah, absolutely, Infinite Mind. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I think that we ourselves, if we're gonna watch stuff and everything, we kind of blend it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think for me, the reason I control it is because I spend so much time reading and working on things that I often will watch television for fun. So when I'm eating and stuff like that, that's when I pick something for fun. So there's quality movies that he'll want me to watch and things like that. But a lot of times, shit, I'm just going on there and watching Cheers and Golden Girls. You know what I mean? Gordon Lou Wigs, yeah. But you know, so it's important to temper all of the things that we're doing. And I'm saying this heavy because it's the wisdom power day, the ways that we're acting and how much power that we put into them. But this is the end. This is the end. This is the last session, right? This is the last session I have. And the next session will be the 1st of February. And I'm saying you had to have used January as a test to see where you're at, right? And see where you're going with it. And we have to see how we're planning, you know, how we're working those 3 things into the other things that we want to do. Because the way you exercise, eat, and sleep is going to actually impact all of the things that you would like to add on to your life and their power. Guarantee you, sleep well, eat well, you won't have as much power, but you'll be efficient to what you want to do. But if you train, eat, and sleep right, it's the wonderful combination. That's the you know, the pyramid. You know, yeah, Shaolin versus Ninja. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I haven't seen it in a long time. You know what? I keep forgetting. I have to watch the new documentary about Drez from Black Sheep. That's something I have to watch. Kind of mandatory. Little add-on. You know, when you go on Twitter, there's always arguments about race, about all this kind of stuff. And the god Rakim Shabazz, who has the Wise Dome TV, I don't know if he's on the thing now, but he had a very interesting post, and he said, "We are the real Hebrews, we are the real Native Americans, we are the real Arabs, we are the real Asians." And he says, "Fam, will y'all let anyone else have a history and a culture?" And this takes me back to a build that I've had for years and still see, that the scholarship, not just the gods, because the gods fall victim to this too, right? the scholarship, the Black Book Scholarship that was led by, the launch Ivan Van Sertima, Chaikenta Diop, Chancellor Williams, right? Seminal works, Charles Finch, all these people that wrote seminal works were essentially George James, Stone Legacy. They were essentially proving and working on the idea, the premise that they were going to prove that we are the fathers of civilization. Peace, God. Peace, God. Likewise, God. And that we are the fathers of civilization, and that we were inhabiting all of the areas. African Presence Series by Sertima, presence in early America, presence in Europe, presence in early Asia, right? All of these things. And what was missing? This was pretty complete. It was exceptional, right? It launched everything. It proved father of civilization in the knowledge degree, all of these works. But I've always said, there's even videos of me saying it in classes that were taken for clips in a school in Mecca page. It's something I always say. And we know that the original people, but it also takes away from the original people that are of the different phenotypes, the different realities. And what happens is that what we miss, though, is that we say the black man is everywhere, originated everything, was everywhere, right? But here's the problem. The problem is that the timeline ends up being left there. There is no, from the beginnings onward. So we're here in Africa. We don't see any of the timeline, what happened after. So most people, they'll read Destruction of Black Civilization, but they really don't know anything about African countries, African culture. So when they look at Africans, they're like, oh, you guys didn't come and save us. I'm telling you, I've met many gods, elders, my own peers, everything. They're like they'd be mad at Africans. People from African countries, the Congo, Nigeria, anywhere. And be like, they start quoting the 1 at 36, and I'm like, how come you didn't come back? You know what I'm saying? How come you didn't come for us? Like they mad. I'm telling you, I've seen this. But I'm saying that we don't know the history. We don't know enough history. We went from origins and we skipped all the way to the 20th century. We skipped everything in between. So the original people, how are the original people that we say the black seed was in China or Japan? They're the first samurais. How did those people become the Chinese, Japanese, everybody we know? Or are you going to start saying the bullshit line that is not right and exact and has no proof and actually goes against what 120 says and says, oh no, because they were made during the grafting process and they were put out there and they grafted this and they put out there. No, the grafting process wasn't done to populate the world. That's not what the damn degree says. That's what none of the degrees say. The grafting process was to kill all until you get to the grafted. That process is repeated until you get to the grafted. It wasn't the cremators. We only have the cremators for a short period of time. Let's use them real well and get rid of the black. The brown will throw here, the yellow will throw here, and then the white will throw to run. That is not what happened. What really happens is that you have people phenotypically changing, staying in places for generations upon generations and adapting different phenotypes. Something that doesn't happen now because we don't really stay in one place for long. And the world population, for as bad as it is all affected by many of the same things, including foods, diets, technology, etc. So you don't see as much variation based on where someone is, okay? Unless pockets of places where others are not going, like places where people live the longest, like Okinawa and other places, right? So,
Be right back.
so this idea, let people have their culture, this is our responsibility as well. We're the original people, though. You can't just say black man is the first samurai. What does that mean for samurai? You as a, let's say, black American, you didn't do anything to really develop the samurai culture. You didn't do anything to develop the martial arts in China and how it developed. So what's missing is the timeline of all of these original people, India, the rest of Asia, all of these different places. My shoulder's banged up, but all of these different places and how it developed. You know, and this is what I've said is the Fulton Scholarship, and because that's the only scholarship that prevailed, and then there's hit a dead spot. There's no more. All of a sudden, there was very little to then no more black studies to talk about ancient civilizations, how they developed into the periods and the dynasties, and more detail in each dynasty in ancient Kemet until its end, its fusion, its dissolving, the rise of Greece, and what other original civilizations were at those times. There's so much missing. And then now people just have assumptions about things or declarations, and they don't study. Right? And what I'm saying is that some of this is also because the studies aren't there. And so this is something to put in the head, though, when we start studying and we start to engage the youth about all of the great possibilities that they have to study new things. Divine, you said you just asked me that when I just woke up to catch a class to you here in South Africa. It's 2 a.m. and yeah, I'm still all peace, Divine. All peace, Divine. All right? All peace. Okay? You let me know what it is, and then we build. Okay? Are you the Divine that has been emailing me to build? Because if you are, you got an email and it came back that your box was full and I couldn't get it to you. Right? I don't want to say your email, but where let me see. I'll just say that that your Gmail. Okay, I don't want to give out your Gmail, but it starts with a DAI. If that's your Gmail and you've been emailing me and talking to me on the Instagram, right? Let me know, because your box was full. So if that email is no good, email me again with a different email, because I sent you a whole bunch of stuff and then it just gave it back. Halftime. You said the problem is folks coming to this ego purpose without healing their own brokenness. Exactly. I mean, this brokenness sometimes takes our whole lives too. We're 85, but not just that we were 85. See, sometimes people are legitimately, realistically, actually not 85 anymore. They don't believe in a mystery God. They bathe themselves of belief regularly. But the problem is that while we bathe ourselves of belief regularly, we have to acknowledge that we are attacked by the outside world daily. You see? And that's something that's important to constantly acknowledge. King, you said, I tell the 85 at my job that my name is King because the original man is a leader and not a follower. How dare you, Kamal? How dare you start all this? Kamal means rebirth and enlightenment, and I was mentally reborn through knowledge of. Yeah, it's a dope name. It's a dope name, you know? It's so crazy, though, because if someone came from British that was a duke or a lord, they would bow down to them and actually practice the reverence that they would have to have upon them. You know, if a duke came from England. But the God here has his name, has an actual name, and they can't, you know what I'm saying? But that, you know what it is. That's right, G1. That's right, G1. That's right. You know? And that's what I'm saying, though. That fool, you can't come in the righteous name. You can't be saying that you're part of this, because you're not. You're not in this. Like, you have skipped so many of the steps of being a man, a good young boy, let's say. Let's even go lower. because a good teenage young man isn't doing that. Let alone a man, let alone true and living God. So yeah, you wanna deal with this? Strip all that name. Go back to square one. Work on being a man. And that's right. They continue daily, so we gotta continue daily. And I don't know. I want people to wake up with fire, like to fire to do stuff. I feel like I could feel it though. It's because I know it. I've been teaching this too long. I know when people are building and they go to themselves at a certain time and they go, I did enough. It's time to just fool around. And the thing is that usually takes a measure of, I worked, I did this, I did that. It's time to drink. It's time to smoke. I deserve this. It's not, if I was like that, I wouldn't be able to teach you this long. If I did what many of you are accepting, I'm saying, not pointing names, but I know. There's got to be. I know it. This is usually what is happening. We have to look at the real reasons why things are not right and exact at us and not anyone else. Word King, I didn't know why. I thought it was going to be positive because he actually still can MC. He's made some good records. I guess his life was difficult, but I gotta watch it. Definitely gotta watch it. You know what's funny? He's such a great MC, but when I bought that Black Sheep debut that everybody loves, I had a problem with a lot of the songs. I didn't expect them to talk about hoes and just be so West Coast like in the way that they talked about hoes, and so many songs about that. That took away from the songs of other songs that were like better to me. That was my perspective when I first heard it as a young teenager. All right, so I'm here for another 20 minutes. So again, I addressed that thing that King Rakim was talking about, because I thought he made a great point with that. I don't know if everybody understood what he meant by that point, but there was stuff that I added onto it, and I was gonna write it in his post, but I didn't have time, and definitely had time to share it here. And I'll probably build with the guy and tell him about it. Absolutely, Infinite Mind. Yeah, living outside of now why and outside of the U.S., there are many cultural misconceptions we have based on who is black. Absolutely. Peace to the Earth Harmony. 793. I don't think I said peace to you. Or is just you coming in now? Peace to the God Master. That's E blending here. Peace to the God Master. Okay, yeah. Let me know, because don't worry. The email that I sent you is not deleted. All I have to do is just forward it again. But and I have all the stuff for you to work on. So we get going with that. Okay? Right? Yeah. We have a lot of building to do. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of building to do with that, about these perspectives and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. You know, so building with this with clarity, building with this through efforts of righteousness, like real righteousness. You know, not just saying. You know. You got a strong will to what is true and what is right and exact. Infinite mind always has. You know what I mean? Always have. You know. But the truth is though, and you know this, so many Latinos I have taught, and the difficulty of that is a lot of the reasons why they don't come back, not because they don't agree with it, but because they know it's going to be too difficult a road to stand on it. This is why what Allah did when he left the nation of Islam, that actualization, you know what I'm saying, is so important. You know, that's Peace Master. I look forward to that. Look forward to that. Yeah, definitely good. That would be great. All right. Yeah, God, you've had this show improving, and I think that it, when you go farther from the root, you're going to get more characters. People don't really have knowledge. What they have is perceptions. You know what I'm saying? They don't have experiences. You know, they want to speak about humanity that they've never met. You know, they haven't met a large gamut of humanity. They haven't done any of the research though to see to make up for it as well. You know, so the farther you go, the more difficult it will be. You know what I mean? That's peace, God. I'd say you're rooted in the truth. It's more like it. Yeah, I know what you mean. Right. That's right, God. Yeah. All type of slick shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I think people would understand what, let's say, lighter skin, yellow seeds we go through, especially if we're coming from a Latino background. But really, this happens to very light skinned brothers in general too. This happens to everybody that's yellow seeds. You know, um, and people don't always know that those those issues of how they do little passive aggressive things like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, misuses of language, cleverness of language. You know what I mean? You know what's funny is that if people really want to see like a useful gauge of what that feels like, look through the videos of me building on a law school in Mecca YouTube channel. Look at the comments. Look at what people say. You know, you get a really good gamut through those trolls of what the rhetoric of ignorance sounds like. You know, and the weaponized is I say ignorant, but not to dismiss the weaponization of it. You know that I like that build that you've been saying. You've been Adding on with that, I like that the contextual argument when it comes to conceptual ideas. That would be great, God, as a plus lesson to write, God. I would love to read that. Word. That God degree in the 1 to 14, right? We are definitely steeped in that, especially online, YouTube, um, Twitter, especially very heavy with that. I love that build. I love that build. Yeah, God, I would love to. I know that there's so much in that to break down, like to really go in. That would make a incredible plus lesson, you know.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that you're not explaining it right and exact, God, with limited, yeah, with like a small amount of words, God. Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying, God. Yeah, listen, God. I'm trying to get an essay out of you. You know, like more reading material, man. Like, listen, God. I just published a 650 page book, so man, I'm trying to get I'm trying to get more words out of everybody. You know, I love using them. Okay. right. We're at the end of this one. 793rd, you said, oh, Infinite, you said you should hear my understanding of the four devils as the antithesis of the four principles in supreme math. Oh, you know I gotta hear that, God. You gotta text me that or something like that. You know, obviously you know, because I know you got the book. I had my own four devils too when I wrote the the Kite of Perfection essay, you know. So yeah, I'm definitely with that build, that kind of build. 793 catching up's a part, but if you check Peep Top Boy and also the Kid Adulthood and other two flicks from the series. All right, I'm gonna copy and paste that because I don't know any of that. That's on Netflix, 793rd. So you got me, you guys got me checking out a lot of stuff. But right now, I'm gonna finish checking out what King told me. I got two more of those. And but yeah, definitely. Look up Ramsey's iconic treatise and read it, Lordy. Gothic features. Ah, okay. Okay, I definitely would get that. 'Cause again, I don't study artwork too much, but I'll definitely check that. You know, it's something that I know I have some biographies about Basquiat. Like I have maybe one or two books about Basquiat, but I never read them. I just have them in the collection. You know, but I took all these notes though, so I'm gonna let you all go, right? And you know, be right and exact, and see this month as it wasn't as successful as it should be as a launch off for the year. Look at it as a way, as an experiment to gauge how you're going to proceed, but concentrate on getting these three things right: diet, exercise, and sleep. Figure those three out, and everything else will launch out. Everything else will launch intensely. All right. So with that said, I'm going to say peace to everybody. All right. Until next week, or more properly, until any of you particularly build with me again. So, you know, make sure you email me, make sure that you text me, etc., etc. Peace to the Earths, peace to G1, peace to everybody. Be right and exact. You know what I mean? Be right and exact. Don't be a savage. Peace.